Okay.
Hang on.
Okay, I want to
Not working.
welcome everyone for our October meeting. And before we start, I
Is
think
that written?
we ought to
Go and say renew speaker.
okay, before we start, I think we ought to have a
Um,
moment of silence and
speaker
maybe
and
you could,
microphone. Do that. Test speaker and
pray
microphone.
in any way you can for all of our friends and patients in Florida. You know, I have quite a few patients from Florida since we had our office there for the last 10 years. But fortunately, God has been with me because we no longer have our office in Florida. We moved it to Arizona. As many of you know that I practiced in Arizona before moving to Florida. And I moved the practice to Arizona simply because Arizona is a little bit more friendly to alternative medicine, especially homeopathy. It's one of the few states that welcome a homeopathic doctor. So let's have a couple moments of silence for all of the people that are really suffering in Florida. Okay, and we can begin our meeting. I want to just comment, got a lot of questions about taking the homeopathic remedy. There's some confusion because in my initial instructions, I mentioned to take 1 teaspoon. And the instructions that the Hahnemann lab is sending, it states take a half a teaspoon. So to be honest with you, whether you take a half a teaspoon or 1 teaspoon, I really don't think it matters as long as you're consistent. So if you start out taking half a teaspoon, just continue that. If you're taking a teaspoon, just continue that. Now, I may make an adjustment if you do have a reaction to it, or there's a problem, because some patients, you know, they only take the homeopathic remedy every other day, or they dilute it in a larger amount of liquid. So there's a lot of variation in terms of taking the homeopathic remedy, but generally speaking, follow the Hahnemann instructions, but you can either take a teaspoon or a half a teaspoon. So I hope that's clear. And if you do have any additional questions, we can talk about it now. You know,
Which medicine is that?
David, I didn't hear you.
Yes. Which medicine is that? I'm not sure I'm taking that as part of my program.
It's the homeopathic remedy.
Is that what it's called?
It's a liquid. It would be in a 1 ounce bottle. And you're
1 ounce bottle?
Yeah, you're to take 1 drop in 4 ounces of water.
Okay.
I had a question.
Yes, Lydia.
Yeah, good afternoon. I ran out of homeopathic medicine, so I sent a message. I sent you an email. Is that how it works?
Yeah, either send an email or call the office.
Okay.
Then we'll order you the next bottle.
Okay.
Typically what happens, you'll start out with an LM1. And then if we want you to continue the homeopathic remedy, you go to an LM2, an LM3, and so on.
Yeah. Okay. I think I had already LM3, so.
So you'd be taking LM4 next.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Good, good. Any other questions regarding the homeopathic?
Yeah, Dr. Kondrot, I think it was about a month ago, someone mentioned their bottle lasting them longer than a month, and you'd wondered if they hadn't been taking the remedy regularly. Oh, I have the 1 ounce bottle. I use 6 to 7 drops per day in the water. And I've used that bottle almost 2 months, and it's almost half full yet. And I think the difference is before, when I got remedies from you, they were in a larger bottle and I used, I think it was like 5 dropperfuls at a
Right.
time. It was a larger amount, and therefore the in a month's time, that bottle was done. But because this bottle is, even though it's smaller, and the fact that we're using much less of it each time makes it last longer, because I think my bottle will probably go close to 4 months before it's finished. And I know for sure I haven't missed any doses.
Have everyone else found that to be true? In terms
I
of the
did
bottle
too.
last,
I did too. Mine lasted 4 months.
for how
And
long?
I used 6 to 7 drops in 4 ounces of water. And my one bottle just lasted 4 months.
Okay, well, that's good news to hear, because then you don't have to be buying the second and third bottle. Because the remedy is probably about $25 to $30.
Yeah, I think mine was 31. And then it had, of course, the postage on top of that.
Mhm.
But someone had, I don't know what the question had been now, but you thought that because their bottle was lasting so long that maybe they had missed doses.
Yeah, well, I'm used to the old bottle.
Right, yeah.
We went through that in about a month. So now I'll have to be more aware that the new bottle lasts 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, because I actually took part of the label off so I could see how far down the remedy had gotten, and it was about halfway, and I'm almost a 2-month mark with it now. So it'll go close to 4 months for me.
Okay.
That was what happened with you.
Okay, questions on any other topic?
Yeah, I just got in on the meeting and I had trouble logging on. Can you hear me okay?
Who's talking? Is that Debbie?
This is Debbie Ludchak, yeah.
Yeah, hi, Debbie.
Which, hi. Well, first of all, I'm glad you and Lee are okay. And with the storm, and the lady Sue that was just talking, was she talking about the homeopathic remedy? Because how long is that supposed to last, the bottle?
Well, apparently the bottle, we changed manufacturers. A couple of months ago, we were using a larger bottle and you were taking 5 dropperfuls. And typically the bottle would only last about a month. Now the smaller bottle seems to be lasting 3 to 4 months.
Okay, because I didn't know if that was just a month's supply when I
Yeah, well,
started
that's new to me. I'm used to the old bottle, which lasted about a month.
okay.
So
And it's
the
supposed
new
to be
bottle-
like about seven to 8 drops. That's what I've been using.
right around 7 drops, 6 to
Okay.
8 drops. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, because I thought there's no way this could be a month because I'm faithfully using it. So I thought hasn't gone down that much. So, okay.
Yeah, so it should last 3 to 4 months.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I see somebody's hands up. Is Terry? Is that you?
Yeah. Hi. I have 2 questions. One is when I'm using, so I've been using the microcurrent for about 4 months. And I never felt anything at all when I was using it. And now within the last couple weeks, when I use the eye program, my left eye gets itchy. So I'm hoping that this is a good sign and not a detrimental sign.
Well, how's your vision?
Well, my vision is very slowly improving. Over the 4-month period. I mean, over the last couple of weeks, there hasn't been much change. Did we lose Dr. Kondrot?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. You moved on my screen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes we'll jump around on the screen. So
okay. Yeah, over the 4 months, it's been slowly improving, but like over the last couple of weeks, there hasn't been too much of a change.
well, usually if that's the case, then we may want to consider altering maybe some of the frequencies on your machine or changing the current. And also we may consider changing your homeopathic remedy, depending on how you're doing in other aspects of your life, you know, your energy, your mood, your disposition, that type of thing.
Okay.
So I really wouldn't change the microcurrent machine for a little bit of itching in one eye, because that could be due to other situations, you know, a mild allergy or something like that. But you're right. You should not feel anything when you're doing the microcurrent treatment. If you do feel some tingling or burning, that probably means that either you're dehydrated or you haven't moistened the washcloths enough. Because if you do hold the dry gloves in your hands and run the machine, you're going to feel burning and tingling, because this microcurrent machine is a current constant machine. What that means is that there's a little computer in the machine which will regulate the current setting. So if you're dehydrated, the voltage is increasing. It's driving more current to get that level. If you're properly hydrated, then you need a very low level of voltage to maintain that current. So as the resistance goes up, the current has to get stronger. That's why it's important to make sure you're properly hydrated.
I don't have any burning or tingling. I just a little bit of itching every now and then.
Mhm. It's probably not due to the microcurrent. It could be due to something else.
Okay. Well, in submodalities, I know that that itchy is indicative of increased circulation, but I didn't know if that was true of this microcurrent or not.
It could be due to increased circulation. But usually an increase in circulation doesn't have any symptoms at all.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just continue using the microcurrent as is, and
Yeah, I would continue as is and keep us posted on any new symptoms. And certainly if it would start to develop in both eyes, then we may want to consider changing either your current or one or more of your frequencies. And of course, we can do that now online, those of you that are in the continued care program. We do have the mechanism to change your settings on your computer. You do have to have a special software and cable, and then I log on to your computer and I make the changes.
so that brings up a question. What is the continuing care program? Because I've not heard of that.
Well, initially the program that we had was for 1 year. And because we wanted, I found that the majority of patients in the 1 year program, we never heard from them after 3 months. Most people, you know, got the microcurrent machine, they were satisfied with it, and that was it. We didn't hear from them. So that's why we decided to make the whole program for only 3 months. And the majority of people, that's enough for them. A small percentage of people then maybe because they have a minimal change in their vision or they have other problems, maybe heavy metal toxicity, what have you, they want to continue care. So we do have a continued care program, and that would extend everything for a year. And part of that continued care program, you do get software and a cable that enables us to reprogram your machine. It's very rare that we have to reprogram your machine within 3 months, because typically I like people to use the microcurrent settings for at least 3 months. And actually most people, even if they're doing the microcurrent treatment for a longer period of time, most people don't need a change. We continue the same settings for a year or even longer. So you can contact the office about the continued care program.
Okay.
That would
oh,
be
go ahead.
after your 3 month period.
Okay. Yeah, I had one other question about the vitamins that are coming out. I had recently reordered some, and I was getting the Macular formula and the lens formula. And apparently something is being changed, and it was very confusing, the explanation that I had. So I was wondering if you could just talk about
Yeah,
that.
let me talk about that. We've lost our manufacturer, because of new government regulations, et cetera. So now we have a new manufacturer. And the big change we're making, what I found over time was that, we had a macular protocol, a lens protocol, and a glaucoma protocol. But most patients have more than one eye problem. Many of you have cataracts and macular degeneration, or cataracts and glaucoma, and some of you have cataracts, macular, and glaucoma. So it wasn't really practical to have three distinct formulas. So now we're having vision protocols, 5 different vision protocols. So when I evaluate your records, I'll determine which combination that you'll need: 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And you'll be taking those products every month. So we're going to be putting all that information on a website to make it clearer for you. I don't really want to take time to go over all that now at this meeting, but the only line of vitamins now that we no longer have a supply is the lens formula. So all the other ones, the glaucoma and the macular degeneration, we still have those in stock, but we'll probably be running out of those by the end of the year. So I'm hoping that this new combination will actually be a little bit more effective for you. Because as I mentioned, many of you have more than one eye problem. You have cataract and macular degeneration. And it was kind of confusing before. Dr. Kondrot, I have glaucoma and macular. Which should I take? Should I take the macular protocol or the glaucoma? Now it'll be pretty clear. We'll have a specific protocol for you based on what's going on in your eye. You have one or more problem.
They had sent me the macular formula and then a bottle number 2 for the cataracts.
Right.
How frequently do I take that number 2 bottle? One capsule a day, or?
I think it's 1 capsule twice a day. I'd have to check.
Okay.
Let me just see here. I'll pull it up on my computer here. Okay, let's see. While I'm looking for this, if somebody has another question, I can't find it here.
Go ahead.
I have a question about the light therapy. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
I have the kit with 2 glasses, and I did just get my lamp. And my question is, do I do the different glasses consecutively or on different days, and for how long?
Okay, well, those instructions should have been made clear to you. Most patients
It
only
didn't
have
come with a
one.
kit, and I got contradictory instructions from different places. So that's why I'm asking.
Okay, what are the labels on your glasses?
Just give me a second, and I'll be right back and tell you, okay?
Okay, I found the vision and ocular support number 2, and you're to take 1 capsule twice a day. Most of the formulas that we have is a twice a day product, either 2 capsules twice a day, 1 capsule twice a day, etc. So for
Okay, I'm back with the glasses when you're ready.
Yep, I'm ready.
I have mu upsilon and mu delta.
Okay. For those, you're to alternate. You're to take the mu epsilon one day for 10 minutes and the mu delta the next day for 10 minutes.
Okay,
Now,
so one day
some
for 10
people,
minutes, then the next day use the other one.
some people have two glasses, and they'll do 5 minutes of one and 10 minutes the other consecutively the same day. Other people just have one pair of glasses once a day. It depends on your problem and your eye condition.
So either is okay, 10
As long
minutes
as
every
you-
other day,
As
or
long as
5
you
and 5.
alternate, as long as you
Beg your
alternate,
pardon?
as long as you alternate. So whatever date, whatever lens you start with, use the other one the second day.
Or I could use one for 5 minutes and then the same
No,
day,
no,
5
no.
minutes after.
No.
Say, okay, stay on alternate days.
Yeah, your prescription is alternate days.
Thank you.
Some people will have the light therapy consecutive right after each other. They may do one
Okay.
for 5 minutes and then right after do one for 10. But your prescription is every other day.
Thank you. That's very helpful.
So that was it made clear to you in the instructions, or
I saw different instructions in different places. One said every other day and one said the same day consecutively. And
So I think you have to be
one of
careful.
one of your YouTubes, you said
Oh,
5
yeah,
minutes
yeah.
and 10 minutes.
No, you because everybody is individualized. So you may be watching a YouTube video and I'm giving recommendations based for a specific problem. So the key thing is
Yes.
your instruction sheet. And of course, that's why we have these meetings every other week, to clarify things like this.
Very helpful.
Okay, Debbie has another question.
Yeah, the one lady, I forgot her name, she mentioned about capsules for cataracts. Now, I never received anything for the cataracts, and I do have cataracts. They're not real bad, but should I be taking something
Well,
separate
no,
for that?
in my evaluation, I probably felt that, see, if you have more than one eye problem, usually they like to address the problem that's affecting your vision. Everybody after the age of 50 has early cataracts, but they really don't have to be treated. So probably in your case, we didn't feel it was necessary that you actually take a cataract vitamin protocol. We may have recommended you take the Oclamed eye drops.
I do use them.
Yeah, but it's not necessary that you do take the cataract vitamin protocol, because there is an overlap with all these vitamins.
Right.
Yeah.
And then how soon, like I started the program mid-August, everything, microcurrent, all that. How soon can you anticipate any kind of change for macular degeneration, vision?
Well, we're always happy and excited when people have a change within a couple of days or a couple of weeks, and many people have that. Other people respond at a much slower rate. We always like to see some movement in a positive direction.
Yeah.
Slow and steady wins the race. Now, if you have absolutely no change after 3 months, then
Okay.
we've got to roll up our sleeves and try to figure out what has to be done. But it's interesting. I've had many patients after 3 months say they haven't noticed any change. And then they go back to their eye doctor, and the eye doctor tells them, you're reading 2 lines better, or we can cut back on one of your eye drops. So it's, objective findings and subjective. Sometimes the changes are so slow, you're really not even aware of it.
Aware of it. Yeah.
And I think I had one patient, she was really upset that I think I mentioned this at the last meeting. She called the office and she was complaining that the leads on her microcurrent machine were rusting. She said they're only 3 months old and they're rusted. So we sent her another pair, and then she realized that that was the natural color. They weren't rusting. She was now able to see a little better. And she was kind of embarrassed. It was kind of funny.
Can I just ask you very quickly, it's called the Fit Genes 6-week program. What is that?
We no longer have that. That was
Okay.
genetic testing.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah, there are many. We just found that it really didn't offer much benefit.
Okay.
We were doing genetic testing. It was an added expense and didn't really help the patients that
That
much.
much.
I had a general health question since you're a homeopathic doctor. But however, I see that there is a lady, her name is Betty Parker. Her hand seems to be raised. I didn't want to get ahead.
So let me take care of Betty. I didn't
Ah.
see your hand. Let's see,
Oh,
Betty.
And I can get a turn afterwards then.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I had a question on the microcurrent therapy. I used it every day for 3 months, and the swelling of my retina went down significantly. I continued to use it every day, and then it went back up. My eye pressure went up, so I dropped back to twice a week using the microcurrent therapy. The swelling of the retina has increased a bit, and my pressure is about 20 in each eye. And I'm wondering, should I try to maybe increase it 3 times a week to see if that would take care of the swelling, or what do you
Well,
think?
everybody's different. So, most people start out using the microcurrent every day. And then maybe after a year or so, they're using it once a week or twice a week, just as maintenance. So certainly you may want to try using it 3 times a week, or we may want to consider either changing the time of your treatment, from 30 minutes maybe to 15 minutes. So there's so many different variations, but I'm glad you're kind of paying attention to your body, because, the way each individual person responds is the correct way.
Could I do only half the treatment, the 15 minutes, and stop?
No.
No.
And that brings up a good point, because if you have a 30-minute treatment, you're going through maybe 30 or 40 or maybe more different frequency pairs. So every 20 seconds or so, there's a different frequency pair that has a specific vibration. If you only do 15 minutes, you're not getting 15 minutes of specific frequency pairs.
Could I do maybe just the one bad eye and not the other? Is that possible?
Not really, because the microcurrent will be conducted into both eyes.
Okay.
In fact, theoretically, you could do the eye program holding the gloves. The resonant frequencies are going through your body, but we find out there's an additional effect. Now, what we might want to do is cut your program down. And I have some patients who have, like, program number 1, their eye program is 30 minutes. And then program number 2, their eye program is 15 minutes. So they get all the frequencies in a shorter period of time.
Okay.
So we might want to talk about that. We might want to change some of the settings on your machine.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Lydia, you had a question. Let's take Lydia, then we'll do Charlotte.
Yes, okay, thank you. This is actually a general health. This is actually a general health question, but seems the whole body should be healthy for the eyes. So since a year or so, I've had high cholesterol, the LDL seems just too high. And so the heart specialist said there were a little bit of plaque on the heart in the artery, not much. So, and he prescribed a statin. So I'm wondering if there's anything better than that, because I hear some people say it's not a good medication.
Well, I'm not a big advocate of statins, and I'm not a big believer in that cholesterol is related to heart disease.
Ah,
A very good friend of mine in Florida,
mm,
Dr. Stephen Sinatra, he wrote a book called The Cholesterol Myth.
oh, okay.
And I know a lot of alternative doctors. The analogy they use is there's a riot and looting in the city, and the police are there. So the conclusion is police caused the riot.
Mm.
So, you have a heart attack and you have elevated cholesterol. Therefore, the elevated cholesterol caused a heart attack. I think heart disease and arteriosclerosis is caused by inflammation and other problems. So you may want to read Dr. Stephen Sinatra's book called The Cholesterol Myth. Now,
Okay.
obviously, if your cholesterol is like 200 or 300, that's an issue. But I think
Mm.
Big Pharma is making a fortune
Mhm.
on selling these statins. And, according to Big Pharma, babies should be taking statins, should be taking them from birth. So that's just my opinion, and it's supported by a lot of other
Mm.
alternative doctors.
Can I chime in on that? I take the red rice yeast. That seems to really work well. Are you open to that?
Yeah, I think natural ways, but then again, we need the cholesterol. Cholesterol is a precursor to all of our hormones. And, we need those essential hormones, testosterone, progesterone, and many other hormones that are necessary for neurological and visual function.
So if there is plaque in the arteries, that is caused to inflammation in the body and not to anything else, right? And not to the
Inflammation could be one of them. It could be heavy metal poisoning.
Oh,
Heavy metals are related to the development of arteriosclerosis and plaques. So there's a lot of.
heavy metals, yeah.
Okay, I think Charlotte, you had your hand up. You had a question?
Yes, doctor. Did I miss something? Did you get the new vitamins in for macular degeneration and glaucoma?
No, we just have the new vitamins for the cataracts. The macular and glaucoma, we'll probably be having those till the end of the year. And then we'll have our new product line.
Okay. Now also, I've been using the electrical stem machine now for 5 months. My vision religiously every night, and put the wet cloths over the gloves, yada, yada, yada. And my vision is getting worse. And I don't know what to do. I know I did have the testing done, urine test for, I am really over the top on the heavy metals and mercury. And this is about my 10th week for the chelation and ozone drip IV.
Mhm.
So I just don't know what to do.
Have you had a recent eye exam over the last 5 to 6 months?
I got an appointment. I go on the 14th.
Okay, so wait till you have that eye exam. Make sure you send me a copy of the records.
Right.
And then we ought to chat privately, and maybe I may want to make some changes with your microcurrent machine or your homeopathic remedy.
Oh, thank you so much, doctor.
Yeah.
Hi, this is David again. I don't know how to raise your hand on here. If somebody's ahead of me, that's okay.
No, all you can do is just put your hand up like this. Do it the
Oh.
old-fashioned way. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about red light therapy. I'm sure you're familiar with a study that was done a couple of years ago in London. What's not clear, it seemed to help people in the older ranges over 60, especially with their contrast vision. I wonder what your thoughts are on using red light therapy,
No, by
670
red light,
nano.
are you talking about red, infrared?
Yes, red light, little flashlights, or they comes in panels you can also look at. The recommendations I'm seeing are use it once a week for 3 minutes per eye. I have tried that, and I do notice some
Mhm.
a little increase in acuity, but it doesn't last. So it seems to be something that's still being studied, but I'm not finding more recent research on it. So I'm a little uncertain about how to use it effectively.
Well, one thing is that if you're involved in my program, I really want all of you not to do anything except what I recommend for your eyes. I know it's
Okay.
tempting to do all this other stuff. And I don't mind if you do it after the first 3 months. Because
Okay.
when you're in the program, it's my goal to try to find the right combination of treatment. And if you start doing this and that and doing all these other things, you're kind of confusing everything.
Fair
So
enough.
I would hold off on that, but I do believe in red light therapy. In fact, I've studied it. There's a company called the Thor laser. We bought it's a $16,000 laser, and they've done comprehensive studies showing that it increases the mitochondrial activity, helps
Right.
regenerate the retina, treating glaucoma. It definitely works. But, you know, not everybody can afford a $16,000 laser. We have found that the Delta laser, and if you search through some of my podcasts and the last year's vision event, there was a gentleman that spoke on the Delta laser. I like the Delta laser because it not only uses the red infrared, but it combines magnetic energy, infrared energy, syntonic light. It's 4 modalities. And it seems to have a synergistic effect. It's called the Delta laser. But I would advise you not to begin that until towards the end of your 3-month program with me. Then you
Okay.
can add other things. It may not be necessary. Here's something else that you may find interesting. There's a brilliant Russian researcher named Tina Carew, and I met her at a couple of meetings, and she researched all various forms of laser therapy. One of her studies was kind of interesting. She compared the effect of laser light compared to non-coherent light. Laser's coherent light. Photons are lined up. They have a much higher energy. And she compared that to non-coherent light, like light from a light bulb. And shockingly, there's no difference on the cellular level. A photon is a photon. No difference. The only difference is the red infrared laser has a deeper tissue penetration. So in other words, if you're using the syntonic light therapy, which you have the glasses, you're looking at the light, those photons are going directly into your eye because your eye is open. If you're doing red, infrared, or any type of laser light, you have to close your eyes. So the laser energy penetrates and goes deeper into the tissue. But the bottom line is a photon is a photon. There's no difference in how it stimulates the electron transport chain and other biochemical processes in the body.
Is there a
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Is there a difference between light therapy and syntonic light therapy?
Syntonic light therapy is a type of light therapy. And it's probably been the most widely studied light therapy. It's been studied over 100 years. There's an organization called the College of Syntonic Light Therapy. You can Google them. They have an annual meeting. They've researched light therapy. And these are actually a group of eye doctors, believe it or not, who routinely use light therapy in their practice. They mainly use it for treating attention deficit disorder, learning disabilities, autism, and of course they're using it for glaucoma and macular degeneration. Now, if any of you have glaucoma and you'd go to your eye doctor and say, hey, doctor, Does light therapy help with glaucoma? He's going to laugh at you, right? You know, who have you been talking to? He'll probably say there's no evidence. But in 1948, in the American Journal of Ophthalmology, which is our leading peer-reviewed journal, there were 2 articles published showing the benefit of light therapy with glaucoma. And I think they're on my website. I can show you those articles. So about 5 years ago, I duplicated that study that was done. And I published it in the Journal of Syntonic Optometry, demonstrating that light therapy can be beneficial to glaucoma. Now, I'm not saying it can replace your eye drops that you're taking, you know, because glaucoma is a very serious disease, and sometimes we have to do everything we can, combination of surgery, eye drops, and alternative treatments. But light therapy is a really good modality. Now, the thing that I find fascinating is that light therapy, the biggest effect light therapy has is balancing your autonomic nervous system. And I do believe that, especially glaucoma, many diseases are the result of an imbalance in your autonomic nervous system. Just learning to relax the body. You know, I'm a big advocate of reducing stress and deep breathing, positive affirmations, prayer. All these things can have a positive effect on the body. When your body is in the sympathetic state, that's the fight or flight state, it will not heal. It's a fact. When the grizzly bear's chasing you in the woods and you're running for your life, your body does not digest food. The body does not assimilate nutrition, and the body will not be able to regenerate damaged tissue. So most of us are living our life in a sympathetic state. So a lot of times when I hear somebody, I'm using the microcurrent for 5 or 6 months and nothing's helping me, I always tell them, well, maybe start using the stress program. And then they add the stress program and their vision improves. Because remember, if you're in a sympathetic state, your body's not going to heal. And sometimes that's, you know, easier said than done, because, you know, if you're losing your vision and the doctor's telling you you're going blind, you know, you're scared. You want to do everything you can, but sometimes just taking a deep breath and, you know, trusting the universe, that's all you have to do. Okay, I have Carol, you have your hand up. Oh, I can't hear you. You have to unmute yourself. There's a little button, Carol.
I got it. Am I on now?
Yeah, you got to position your camera. You're really low. You got to, I want to see you.
Okay. How's that?
There you go. Yeah.
It's the first time I've been able to get on. I've been able to watch, but not get
Well,
on
welcome.
myself.
It's a
So
lot more
thank you.
fun when you're part of the group, isn't it?
It is, yes. I have a question about the regular glasses and sunglasses.
Mhm.
I walk outside for an hour or more every day, and I don't usually use my glasses or my sunglasses. I just wondered if I needed to do that, or if I needed to use sunglasses. I haven't been.
Well, number one, I think that our body, we need ultraviolet light.
That's what I thought. So,
And if you're outside just for an hour, there's no reason to have sunglasses.
okay, that's good.
Unless the sun's directly in your eye, or there's a lot of glare. But generally speaking, I think that people overuse sunglasses.
Okay,
If
good.
you're
I
going to
just,
be outdoors all day, you know, on the beach, and there's a lot of glare, then you need them.
no, just walking and, you know, where trees are and everything. So it's very nice.
No, we need the ultraviolet light, because one of the biggest deficiencies we're finding is deficiencies in vitamin D. People are not getting enough of ultraviolet light. there was a study done at the Wills Eye Hospital that showed that the retina will not regenerate if there's deficiencies in vitamin D. And so in all of my vitamin formulas, we do have some supplemental vitamin D, which is, I think, can be very, very helpful. But the best way to get vitamin D is naturally through sunlight.
So what happens, I do get out in the direct sunshine around noon every day. But when it starts getting colder and darker, I'm in Missouri. Can't do that all winter long. What's the best way to supplement your vitamin D at that point? Do you have a certain brand or anything that you recommend for the?
Well, it's in my macular protocol, the glaucoma, and I think the cataract. We do have some vitamin D.
I'm in the
Also-
optic neuropathy program.
Yeah, I think there'll be some vitamin D in your vitamin formula. You may want to check.
Is there any place I can read on the internet what's in the vitamins? Because I can't read anything that's on the label.
Yeah, we post the labels on our website.
Okay, I haven't noticed that. Just,
Yeah,
is that the Vision website or Kondrot? What? Which
the
website?
Healing the Eye website.
Healing the Eye. Okay.
And if you
Thank you.
can't find the labels, just talk to Chris or Lee and they can send you the label.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm glad you finally made it through.
Me
Looks
too.
like Steve has his hand up. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Dr. Kondrot. I have a couple of quick questions. I went to my retina surgeon in May, and he said, Steve, the drusen spots in your left eye are 90% gone. And then I went. Can you hear me, Doc?
Yep, I hear you.
Okay. And then I went again more recently, and he said your eyes are continuing to improve. So I'm absolutely thrilled about it, and he's fascinated by all this. By the way, he's OMAD, 1 meal a day, but he said your cataracts have changed your prescription, so you need new glasses. So I recently called and I got a resupply of vitamins, and the usual stuff. And the gal said try Oclumed for the cataracts. What kind of success do you have with that stuff? I will take it religiously because I've had such good luck thus far. What should I be expecting?
Well, out of all the different eye drops, there's so many different eye drops on the market for cataracts. There's Can-C, there's Cineraria, Maritima, Eyebright. I have found that the Oclumed does have a positive effect on cataracts. And I would say 70% of patients who take the Oclumed will see an improvement of their cataracts.
Wow.
And
That's impressive.
I would give it a 3-month time period. If you haven't seen any change in 3 months. Now, we always have to look at the underlying cause of the cataracts. And typically it's nutrition. Lack of vitamin C in your diet, salt, sugar, hard water. When I do missionary work in Africa, I see teenagers and people in their 20s with advanced cataracts that are blind. It's due to nutrition. The other factor is heavy metal poisoning. Numerous studies have shown that elevated lead is linked to cataracts. So if you do have elevated lead based on your urine test, then you need to consider some type of a chelation program.
Yeah, I do your chelation program religiously every other night, as you recommend. And I had 10 mercury fillings removed, I don't know, about 6 months ago, because mercury, lead, had numerous things that were excessive. Okay, so now, is there anything else I should be doing? I'm already taking your macular formula and your detox stuff. I'm doing the ozone. I'm doing the light. I'm doing the microcurrent. Is there anything else I should add to attack the cataracts?
I think that's enough. You're a busy man. You have a lot, you're doing a lot.
It takes a lot of time, yes.
No, but listen, it shouldn't take a lot of time. Actually, you know, the microcurrent should only take 30 minutes of the day.
Well, that brings up another question. I was doing the first 4 on the list of the protocols, and I cut it back to 2, the eye and the other. But I listened to a woman who cured. There was an NFL player that was going to play in the Super Bowl, and he damaged his ankle, and the surgeon said there's no chance he's going to play in the Super Bowl. And he called in this lady who's an expert on microcurrent, and she got after him all day, every day. And by God, he played in the Super Bowl. He was fine. And so it begs the question, if you want to be aggressive, should you do that more than once a day, or do you think once a day is adequate?
Well, it depends. You want to play in the Super Bowl.
No, but I do want to drive a race car. So,
Okay. Well, the eye's a little bit different. You know, these athletes that have a musculoskeletal problem, you can treat it a little bit more aggressively. But the eye tissue is very gentle. In my experiences, we want gentle healing. And I usually don't recommend an eye treatment more than once a day. Researchers have found that it takes the retina 24 hours to regenerate. So if you're doing it 2 or 3 times a day, it doesn't give the retina time to regenerate. The analogy I use is the weightlifter. If you lift weights, you don't lift weights twice a day or every day. You have a hard workout, you take a day off, and the next day you lift weights. So you want the body to have time to regenerate. So the only other thing I'd recommend is really look at your diet. I think food is our best medicine. And you really have to make sure you have a good, healthy diet. That could be one of the best things to help reverse the cataracts and, you know, help these other issues that are going on.
yeah, we've gone completely organic and no junk food and extremely little bit of sugar and low carbs.
Mm-hmm. Great. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad the drusen have disappeared.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, my retina surgeon is in awe, I think. So
Did
keep
you
up the
talk
good
to
work.
him?
Thank you.
Did you talk to him about the microcurrent? I'd be happy to talk to him.
I told him about it. I told him everything I was doing because he asks. And I told him I have a wonderful doctor in Florida who's sort of the coach here. And but he said I'm basically the only guy in his practice that's getting a result.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully he may have an interest. I do have a few retinal doctors who are, you know, embracing microcurrent. I just got off the phone with a friend of mine from Italy, and he's going to a low vision meeting in Rome. And actually, there's 3 or 4 presenters that are talking about microcurrent.
Yeah.
Hmm.
While I have you, I apologize. I don't want to monopolize your meeting, but I couldn't get to your meeting for the last several. But one more question. I also have started intermittent fasting, and I've read that that's tremendously potent at creating autophagy. Do you have an opinion about that?
Yep, I do. I like intermittent fasting. In fact, I do it occasionally myself. I think the problem is we just overeat.
Mm.
Yeah.
But good point. Good point. Glad you're doing well, Steve.
Thank you very much, Doc. I'm going to try to attend more of these and listen more.
Yeah, well, thanks for joining. It's always a big help that, you know, people hear positive results and also what to do if you're not getting good results, because we're here to help each other, and I'm here to help you any way I can.
If I can speak to the Oclamed for just a second.
Yeah, that's Betty Parker speaking.
Yeah, I started it in like March and through May. I did 2 months, 2 drops a day. And then thereafter, I've been doing it 1 drop a day. And I've had a cataract in my left eye for probably 25 plus years. And I just went to the glaucoma doc a few days ago, and he said, "Oh, by the way, you got this beginnings of a cataract in your left eye." And I said, "Oh, thank you for telling me." So that tells me that it's reduced quite a bit,
Right.
and I can tell a difference when I'm driving at night.
Because before they were probably ready to do surgery on you, and now they're telling you you got a beginning of a cataract.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's excellent.
Okay, we got another hand here, Cheryl. You have to unmute yourself, Cheryl.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that yet. I'm still blind.
We're seeing what you see, huh?
Okay, yeah, it's all blurry here. Do you have any experience with using Serrapeptase to diminish scar tissue? Because it's supposed to have a reputation for doing that, but I've been kind of afraid to use it.
Well,
I don't know.
it depends where the scar tissue is.
Well, I'm talking about in my right eye. I've got I had that central vein occlusion, and I've got blurred out, scarred, I'm assuming scarred areas, and I've been afraid to take it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
if
I'd be cautious. I'd be cautious taking it.
Okay.
My experience has been very, very good with homeopathy, microcurrent, and light therapy for scar tissue.
Okay, yeah, because those are I've got so many blind spots. I didn't know if that would help with the microcurrent by diminishing some of that scar tissue.
Yeah, it should. It should.
Should I wait a while before doing that?
Well, I would do the microcurrent for at least 3 months.
Well, I've been doing it for 8 months, and I'm still blind.
Then we have you been to your eye doctor?
I just had an injection on Thursday. I have a follow-up in 2 weeks.
Okay, because I'd like to see a copy of your records.
Okay, I can, in 2 weeks, I'll have them send another set.
Yeah.
then. Okay.
Because, I need to know exactly what the cause of your decreased vision is. I mean, you're thinking it's scar tissue, but scar tissue can be, mean many different things. It could be, fluid in the retina. It could be a tractional detachment. We have to know exactly what's going on. So it's not as simple as just removing the scar tissue.
Yes, well, I have blind areas because I had that central vein occlusion. I had that stroke. I have like blind areas in a circular pattern around the optic nerve. And then I have that blind strip from 9 o'clock to the center of my vision. It's just blurred out.
Yeah, so you may want to do things to increase the oxygenation in your eye. Like chelation therapy, ozone, all those things could be very beneficial.
Okay, would the ozone eye drops help that?
The ozone eye drops would do very, very little for the retina.
So I would have to do it like.
You'd have to either do the rectal insufflation, the auricular ozone, or, one of the IV ozone treatments.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll consider that then. Thank you.
Yeah, and I have a couple of YouTubes on, ozone treatments, the auricular. I like the rectal and the auricular.
Okay, I'll check that out then. Thank you very much.
Okay, and I look forward to reviewing your records.
Yes, it should be 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, and work on getting your camera fixed.
Okay, I don't know how to do that yet, but I'll try.
You have to get an IT person to come over.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, hey, if Carol can do it, you can do it, right, Carol?
Boy, that's the truth. My daughter came over and set me up finally.
Took her a couple of days to train you, huh?
We got it now.
But now you'll be a pro. You want to help Cheryl? Maybe.
I'll send Joy over.
All right.
Where is the camera? Because I don't know where it is.
It depends. I think, are you on your computer or iPhone or?
No, I'm on a computer.
It should be right in the center on the top.
On the top?
Yeah, all the modern computers. Oh, there you are.
Can you see me? Oh, I've got a sticker on top of it. No wonder.
Hey.
I thought it was a button or something I had to push on
Oh,
the,
now we can see you. You're looking good,
Yeah.
girl.
okay.
This is a start. It's a start for healing your body, you know?
This is cute. Thank you.
Hey, group, welcome Cheryl. She was hiding all this time. Okay, well, we're coming to a close of the hour here, and if there's no other pressing questions, I want to thank all of you for attending. We are going to be meeting again in 2 weeks. So if anything is pressing, make sure you email the office, and all of you, please pray for all of our patients in Florida. There's a lot of people suffering, including my son's in-laws. They live in Punta Gorda, and they completely lost their home. And I talk with them, and
Wow.
they're just devastated. They're just devastated. I mean, you don't realize how people are suffering in Florida. And we have quite a few patients in Florida, wonderful people.
Wow.
I don't know if anybody here on the calls from Florida. But it's still a big problem going on down there.
Yeah, I prayed several times. I have. Yeah, it's, yeah. Looks, some areas really bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, one more question, Charlotte.
Yeah, when you mentioned Punta Gorda, my cousin lived down there. I went down to visit, and about 12 years ago, my condo caught on fire. So I lost everything. So I went into shock. That's what these people are going through, and my heart bleeds for them because I know how they feel. I have been there, and I'm just constantly basically praying for them, and I'm donating to the Samaritan's Purse, and it breaks my heart that anyone has to go through that.
Yeah,
That's all I got.
The third Sunday of every month, we do have a prayer for vision meeting. I think many of you have attended that. Go to prayersforvision.com. And Reverend Russ Montgomery runs that meeting. And we pray for, people who are going blind, losing their vision. And I think we'll also have a special prayer for all the folks in Florida. So go to prayersforvision.com. And we have at the third Sunday at 3 p.m. So that'll be the third Sunday this month. I don't know the date. So make a note of that, prayersforvision.com. Okay, well, thanks, everybody. Enjoyed
Thank
seeing
you.
everyone.
Thank you
and
so much.
Thank you.
Blessings to everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Nice weekend.
Thank you.